America's role in World War II. World War II is considered one of the most destructive and transformative events in human history. The global conflict, which lasted from 1939 to 1945, shaped not only the fates of the warring nations, but also the destinies of states that were not directly involved in the war. Among these nations, the United States stands out as perhaps the most significant. America's stable stance at the beginning of the war gradually gave way to a rise in global power as the war neared its end. By the end of the war, America had not only emerged as a victorious nation, but also as a key player in determining the course of global politics and economics, neutrality and assistance. At the beginning of the war, America chose not to officially engage in the conflict. When war broke out in Europe in 1939, the majority of the American public was opposed to involvement. This was a result of the deep war fatigue felt after the First World War and a prevailing isolationist sentiment. However, America's greatest contribution at the start of the war was the economic and military assistance it provided to the warring sides. These aids became a crucial strategy that significantly affected the course of the war. The Lend-Lease program, initiated in 1941, was one of America's most important contributions before officially entering the war. The program provided arms, ammunition, food, and various supplies to the Allies, particularly Britain and the Soviet Union. This assistance allowed the Allies to continue fighting and, in the later stages of the war, became a significant strategic advantage against enemy powers like Germany and Japan. During this period, America's assistance was not limited to military aid, but also included economic support. For example, Britain's ability to establish air superiority over Germany and the Soviet Union's victories on the Eastern Front were largely dependent on the supplies provided by the United States. Thanks to these aids, the Allies were able to remain economically viable during the critical stages of the war. Pearl Harbor, the beginning of the war. However, America's isolationist policy came to an end on December 7, 1941, when Japan attacked the Pearl Harbor base in Hawaii. This attack led America to engage in the war against Japan in the Pacific Ocean and against Germany in Europe. The Pearl Harbor attack shocked not only the American public, but the entire world. Yet this attack marked the beginning of America's active role in the conflict. In response to the attack, America quickly mobilized for war. A national military draft was announced, and industrial production rapidly shifted to a wartime economy. This shift demonstrated how America's industrial power would play a pivotal role in the war. One of the most important factors that changed the course of the war was indeed this massive industrial output. Military strategies and America's contributions to the war. America did not only provide economic assistance, it also developed significant military strategies and actively participated in the conflict. One of America's most important strategies was the opening of a second front in Europe. In 1944, Britain and America launched the Normandy invasion, a direct assault on Nazi-occupied France. This opened the Western Front and forced Germany to fight a two-front war. This maneuver caused Germany to divide its resources and ultimately led to its defeat. America's strategies in the Pacific theater were different. In its campaign against Japan, the island-hopping strategy proved effective. This approach involved capturing strategically significant islands in the Pacific Ocean, often through intense naval and land battles. The most significant military moves included the Iwo Jima and Okinawa landings in 1945. These islands were key to advancing towards Japan and paved the way for the increased bombing of the Japanese mainland. America's final decision: the atomic bomb. One of America's most controversial and decisive military actions in World War II was the use of atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. As the war neared its end, Japan stubbornly refused to surrender, prompting the United States to resort to this devastating weapon. The atomic bomb became the nuclear final blow that ended the conflict. The decision to use the atomic bomb pushed the inherent violence and destruction of the war to an even more extreme level. The bomb dropped on Hiroshima on August 6, 1945. Instantly killed around 70,000 to 80,000 people. 3 days later, a second bomb was dropped on Nagasaki, which led to Japan's surrender. The Japanese government, recognizing the power and effect of the atomic bomb, decided to surrender on August 15, 1945. This marked the end of World War II, America's position in the post-war world. By the end of the war, America had gained a hegemonic position on the world stage, not only in military terms but also economically. While Europe, particularly Germany, France, and Britain, lay devastated by the war, America's industrial capacity, which had been strengthened during the conflict, enabled it to recover much faster in the post-war years. America, as one of the victorious powers, played a leading role in the establishment of the United Nations and, during the Cold War, became part of a global bipolar hegemony alongside the Soviet Union. Economic initiatives like the Marshall Plan helped rebuild war-torn European countries, further solidifying America's influence around the globe. America's role in World War II was a turning point, both militarily and strategically. The neutrality it maintained at the start of the war transformed into a leadership role by the end. The provision of economic assistance, military strategies, the use of the atomic bomb and its influence in shaping the post-war world helped America solidify its position as a global superpower. This process not only shaped the outcome of the war, but also ushered in a new world order. Don't forget to subscribe and like. See you in other videos. Goodbye.